Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a massive, high-stakes mythological thriller from Section 39 of the Astika Parva. We're going to uncover exactly how a universe-altering cosmic event ties directly into the sheer survival of an entire ancient race. It's this fascinating story full of deep fears, grand alliances, and, well, a really peculiar prophecy. Just think about the extreme lengths a leader will go to when facing the absolute extinction of their people, because that's exactly the theme we're unpacking today. Let's get right into it. So we're starting right in the middle of the action today. Well said, well said. These are the literal cheers of the serpents, and they are echoing in just sheer delight. They're reacting to the words of a fellow serpent named Elapatra. But, why are they cheering so loudly? What could possibly give an entire race such immense hope and profound relief? Well, it all comes down to a desperate plan to dodge a pretty devastating curse placed by their own mother, a curse that literally threatens to wipe them from existence in a fiery sacrifice.
Section 1. The Serpent's Hope. Let's see how this plan starts to take shape.
To pull off this miraculous escape, the ancient text tells us that Vasuki, the great king of the snakes, takes immediate action. He starts bringing up his maiden sister, Jaratkaru. Our narrator, Suti, mentions that Vasuki takes this great, careful delight in rearing her. And he isn't just being a doting brother here. He's intentionally cultivating the exact key to his people's survival. He is playing an incredibly high-stakes, long game of cosmic chess. But before we get too far into how his sister fits into this grand plan to beat the curse, we kind of have to navigate a slight naming quirk in the lore.
Because, of course, ancient lore absolutely loves to keep us on our toes. We've got two very different, yet vitally connected figures who share the exact same name. So on the left, we have Jaratkaru, Vasuki's maiden sister, who we just talked about. And on the right, we have another Jaratkaru, a completely separate ascetic Brahmana rishi, a sage who is totally dedicated to intense spiritual discipline and physical deprivation. Keeping these two straight is absolutely crucial because the ultimate destiny of the serpent race relies entirely on the fates of these two specific individuals colliding.
Moving on to Section 2, Churning the Cosmic Ocean. We're shifting gears real quick from family rearing to a genuinely legendary event, the literal churning of the cosmic ocean. First off, the gods and the asuras, who, are normally fierce rivals, assemble together for this monumental task. Second, to actually churn the cosmic waters, they need a churning cord of unimaginable strength. And guess who steps up? Vasuki himself. Just imagine the immense, powerful body of the Snake King being used as a literal rope by rival factions of deities. Third, using Vasuki as that rope, they churn the abode of Varuna, the vast cosmic ocean. And finally, once this grueling work is completed, the gods immediately approach the Grandsire, the creator deity, Brahma.
Section 3. The gods seek mercy. So the gods are on a very urgent, somber mission here. They step up as advocates for Vasuki, pleading, "O Lord, Vasuki is suffering great affliction from fear of his mother's curse." Think about what Vasuki just went through. He allowed himself to be stretched, pulled, and totally battered as a cosmic rope. Yet, despite that massive physical sacrifice, his heart is just pierced with this paralyzing sorrow and fear over the looming curse on his entire race. The physical pain of churning the ocean, that's nothing compared to the existential dread he's carrying for his people. The gods are actively leveraging Vasuki's status to get help from the highest possible power. They explicitly describe Vasuki as their friend and benefactor. They're begging Brahman to intervene, asking him to root out his sorrow and assuage his mind's fever. It's this powerful moment of cosmic quid pro quo, because even among the divine, favors hold a lot of weight. The gods are essentially saying, look, he sacrificed his own body for our monumental task, so now we're obligated to help him save his people from total annihilation.
Section 4. Brahman's Divine Prophecy. Let's see what the Grandsire says.
When Brahman responds to this desperate plea, he doesn't just wave a hand and offer a blanket pardon. Actually, he outlines a very specific, narrow decree. First, he confirms that the prophecy spoken by the snake Elapatra earlier, that's absolutely true. Second, he clarifies the curse's target. Only the wicked serpents are going to be destroyed. Third, the virtuous will indeed be saved. But how? Well, that's the kicker. Brahman announces that the human Rishi Jaratkaru is currently alive and engaged in hard ascetic penances. And here is the ultimate condition. Vasuki has to bestow his sister to this exact Rishi at the proper time. And that brings us to the core of this entire ordeal, the prophesied union. It's the divinely mandated marriage between Vasuki's maiden sister and the ascetic Rishi, to ensure the weal or the well-being of the snake race. I want you to just pause and really think about the scale of this for a second. The survival of an entire race hinges on what is essentially a cosmic blind date. It beautifully and tensely connects this massive, sweeping universal problem to a single, intimate solution. If this divinely mandated marriage doesn't happen, the virtuous burn right alongside the wicked. Section 5. The Rishi Watch.
Armed with this strict roadmap from the Grandsire, Vasuki commands a large number of his dutiful serpents to keep a constant, vigilant watch on the ascetic Rishi Jaratkaru. I mean, imagine this highly covert espionage mission from the serpent's perspective. They're hiding in the brush, tracking every single move of a starving man in the woods. Their king comes back from the heavens and says their salvation lies with a human who is currently depriving himself of all worldly pleasures. They are ordered to wait for a very specific, incredibly unlikely change in his behavior.
Vasuki's direct orders highlight just how razor-thin their margin for error truly is. He says, "When the Lord Jaratkaru will ask for a wife, come immediately and inform me of it. The weal of our race depends upon it." Vasuki knows for a fact he can't force a holy man into marriage. The timing has to be absolutely perfect. The Rishi has to organically want a wife. So the serpents are instructed to drop absolutely everything and report back the very second this stoic holy man shows even a fleeting hint of a desire to settle down.
Which brings us to the ultimate question that hangs over this entire section of the Astika Parva. Will the ascetic Rishi ever actually ask for a wife? This is a man whose entire identity, his entire daily existence, is built around strictly rejecting worldly desires and performing isolating penances. Will a guy like that suddenly change his mind so this cosmic prophecy can be fulfilled? Or are the virtuous snakes doomed to burn just because of the sheer unyielding stubbornness of one holy man's vows? It's a brilliant bit of tension that the text leaves us to ponder. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this deep dive into the source material has sparked your curiosity to discover whether destiny or stubborn human will ultimately wins out.